is not just so with everything. I just wanna be your everything, your everything. Yeah, yeah. Feeling so
All right, you guys, we are here with our guest, Holly Cordero. Welcome, Holly.
Hi.
Yale.
We are super excited to have you on. And I hear you're doing an event. So can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Sure, yeah. I'm coordinating the Summer Youth Music Festival. It's taking place in St. Petersburg, Florida on June 29th. It's about showcasing youth musicians. So we have over 40 youth musicians and bands that are performing. And we also have 30 vendors that are food trucks and small businesses in the area. So it's like a whole community, family friendly event happening that we're working on.
That's so cool.
That's
Is this the first year that you're doing them, or?
Yeah, so this is the first year that I'm coordinating this type of festival. So it grew out of Battle of the Bands, which I've coordinated for the last 2 years in our county. So it was countywide, it was inter school. And then from that, I created the youth festival.
that's awesome. So how did you start creating this? When did you have the idea of creating a youth festival like this?
So one of my things, since I'm a teacher full time, that's normally what I do. I survey my students all the time, and I teach a modern band class, so it's like rock band class, but we like to call it modern band so that every genre feels included in the course. And when I evaluate my students, I do it halfway through the year and then at the end of the year to ask them like what we need to do to improve the course or to help them in their musical journey. And constantly, what they're saying is that they want more performance opportunities. And whenever I personally try to reach out and find performance opportunities for them, it's kind of difficult because not a lot of places want youth musicians because a lot of them are bars, so their business is driven on alcohol sales. So when they hear youth, they're like, "Oh, we won't make any money on that." So I had reached out to other places that were like restaurants and tried to find some family friendly places, and it just there weren't a lot of them. And I saw like some of the School of Rocks in the area doing some like weekend things. They had open mics, and I was like, there's so many of these, and I wish we could just like get all together and celebrate what we're doing with the kids. And we don't have anything like that in our area, at least. Maybe like in Miami or Tallahassee, they might have something, but in our area, Orlando, like Central Florida area, we don't have anything like that. So it came from student evaluations and then also like personal reflection and looking at what's happening in the community for me to create this event.
That's so cool. And so uh you say the youth. What are the age ranges on your event?
Yes, youth is a broad term. So our age range is 14 to 20 years old, but I do have like one band and two of the members are 10 years old and the other one's like 13, I think. But they're a band that I know personally because I taught two of them guitar and bass, like private lessons, and they're amazing. You can look them up on TikTok. They're called the Arroyo Sisters. Um, but I've seen them play live multiple times, and they've done a bunch of shows in the state. They go around to all of these kinds of festivals and play. So that is one exception. And then I have a couple adult mentor bands that are coming in just to offer some advice to the youth if they're interested in being a professional musician in this genre and field and in the area. To say like this is how we perform, this is what we look like when we're on stage and performing, this is what you should look like, the professionalism that you need to show. So it's also to show the youth an example of what it looks like to be a professional group.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
So, yeah, of course. So, so you said there was gonna be over 40 bands performing?
Yeah.
So what genres are most of the kids like?
It's pretty rock heavy, I will say. I mean, most of our places that we got artists from are rock schools, and when they have that name, kind of who you're gonna get is rock artists. But we do have quite a few that are like indie identifying. We have a whole stage that's just singer songwriters. So we have like 10 artists on that stage that are just solo artists. One of them is a dub, like EDM artist. The other one does like indie alternative, and then I have a couple hip hop artists on that stage, and then the rest are pretty much like the standard folksy singer songwriter. We have some other hip hop musicians on the other stages. We have some that say that they're grunge. So there's like a wide variety. I personally haven't heard all of the bands. A lot of them started following me on Instagram, so I did check out some of their music when I saw that, like, hey, you're playing. So I did look at some of them, but not all of them. That would be a lot to check out right before the show. But most of them are in the rock genre, but it's all, some of them do original music and some of them do covers. I think it's a good variety. Everyone's going to find something that they like.
That's so cool.
That's really cool.
And so what you want to tell us one more time, just the date and time?
Sure, yeah. So it's on June 29th. So it's at the end of this month, last Saturday in June. It starts at 10 a.m. Like music starts at 10 a.m. And then we end everything at 10 p.m. We have 4 different stages. So there's music going on all day on the 4 different stages. And it's in St. Petersburg, Florida. And you can get tickets online at my website.
And we'll throw the website in the description too.
Cool.
Yeah, awesome. And then, like, what advice would you give to, like, young musicians? Like, if they want to, like, start pursuing this, like, if they want to start doing festivals like this, like,
Sure.
what would you say?
I actually just did a recording recently and they asked me something really similar. The biggest thing I think is that you just have to play a lot, like, even rehearsing with your band, just have set rehearsal times, play together, work through things together. It's not just about playing the same song multiple times, but exploring different songs, writing your own music. I think really if you're just playing constantly, you'll be surprised how much just playing together increases the chemistry within your band, and makes it more easy when you get on stage because everything's going to flow naturally because you've been practicing together for so long. So you know when to expect the next thing, or when this guitar riff starts, you know what song's starting. So just to have that time with each other, and also it just builds friendships when you do that too. So it's not just about we have to get ready for this date, but it's also about like helping those relationships develop too. So
Yeah, and it's helping memories develop too because I was in a band in middle school. Like, I even have a tattoo to show it. Wicked Blue
nice.
Lightning.
Wicked Blue Lightning.
Yeah, but I was in a band like that in middle school, so it's really cool, like the connections that you make and like the memories that you make.
Oh yeah,
It's
for sure.
awesome, and it's cool that you're doing that.
Thanks.
So
It's really cool.
yeah, absolutely.
I'm having a lot of fun organizing it. It's one of my favorite parts. Like I really enjoy teaching, but one of my favorite parts of teaching is putting the concerts together, and putting together like what band's gonna go first and like who's gonna be the last band is always a huge debate in our classroom and stuff like that. So this kind of stuff is always fun for me. Like I like the event coordination aspect of it.
I love that
Yeah,
you're doing it
that's
for the youth too. Like that's really amazing.
Well, you
And-
got to invest in the young kids because the old people have had their chance.
listen, like the young people are the future of like music, so it's like
Right.
you
They got to
you
have
know,
their opportunity. And I feel like sometimes, well, I guess maybe it's because of the area where I am. We're all like Disney Universal musicians. So there's like, everyone's kind of a certain age or they've played for this long. So it really feels like we're saturated with everyone who's in their late 30s, early 40s. And there's not enough younger artists coming through. So everyone's like, well, top 40s is where it's at. And I'm like, but there's so much other music happening and we're just not giving the opportunity for it to be heard. So.
yeah, especially in the age of like bedroom artists. I mean, we are both like independent artists, and I'm thinking like I have a 10-year-old sister who's also gonna be an artist, and like I think the age of like bedroom pop and like independent artists is just gonna continue. So like it's a
For
lot
sure.
different now.
Yeah, for sure. I teach music tech, so we always go over like how to record yourself and like how to use DAWs, like recording software and everything. And I have so many kids. I have a student who's already produced like 14 of his own tracks, and they're on Spotify. Like that's just where he's at. So
That's
Wow.
awesome.
yeah,
You want
he's
to
a
shout him
really
out?
cool kid. Huh? Yeah, I'll
You want to
shout
shout
him
him
out.
out?
Yeah, it's Luke Nujame.
There we go. Let's get
There we go.
there. It is. Run them streams up. That's so cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
he
But
just had his first show in Orlando actually in May, his first live event. So I'm
that's really
excited.
cool.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
No, shout him out. But
Yeah, no, shout out. That's so cool. We love the youth
but
movement.
is it interesting like being in Orlando and like having the music they're saturated by like Disney and Universal? Like
So it's very. I moved from New York, and I'm a jazz musician. Like first and foremost, that's what I do is jazz. So when I moved down here, it was a little bit different to navigate the field and figure out like in New York, you can kind of go to every single venue and they have a jazz night. Even if it's not a jazz venue, they'll have a jazz night. It might be like a Monday night, which, is not the hottest night, but you could probably play jazz every single day of the week and at a different spot every time. Whereas down here, it's like there's 3 places and they only have jazz on the weekends and they're not open any other day. So it's a lot different environment, and there are people that are like trying to change that. I work with United Arts in Orlando, and they're really trying to increase the amount of jazz music and other music that's available to the public. But it's very much like, it's when you go out to a bar, you're mostly going to hear a guy and a guitar or girl and guitar singing top 40 stuff, which is fine. That's there for a reason. But there's also not a lot of diversity in the offerings. I personally feel people might disagree with me, but most places that's kind of what you're gonna hear. And if there are bands, they're top 40s bands, like they're doing cover songs. There's probably 2 or 3 places in all of Orlando that specialize in original music. But of course, they're booked up months in advance. So it's a lot different. People say you get culture shock when you move to New York. I got culture shock moving to Florida because I was like, oh my goodness, it's so hard to find places to play. You have to be very creative with your marketing and how you're going to market yourself to these different places. And it's a lot of inner networking. Like, if I know this person, then I can go here, and then that person can lead me here. Whereas in New York, I would just write emails to venue owners and they'd just say yes or no. I didn't have to know anybody specifically. So it definitely took some learning to get used to that environment.
yeah, I can imagine. Like but it's cool that like, this youth festival is like changing that a little bit. Like you said you got like a wide variety of music, so
Yeah, I mean, even being on the musicians groups on Facebook, because I'm a millennial, so I'm still on Facebook. But all of the musicians groups on Facebook are talking about how there's like all of these different bands. I have a good friend, and she's like an indie hip hop artist, and she just went on tour, and she's even commented on how like there's specific places that she plays, but she's hoping that as this gets more popular, she'll be able to play in other places. So I think it's also a little bit of coming back from COVID. My thinking is that we were all taken aback by what happened, to say it lightly. And so in order to come out of our shell of, sheltering in place, we wanted to do what was comfortable. So we're going back to the things that we listened to pre-COVID. So we don't want to listen to anything new because that's scary. The new is scary. But the stuff that we listened to before, like that's comfortable. Like we can relate to that. And we remember the good times before we had to do all of this other new stuff. So I feel like that's why, tribute bands are a huge thing. Top 40s bands are a huge thing. Like what's popular touring around the country right now is like this Barry Manilow tribute band or this Carole King tribute band. And they're super popular and they're doing really well, which is awesome for them. But it's been harder for original artists because we're not comfortable. Like we're the new thing and you have to take a chance on us. and step out of your comfort zone, which people, even though it's 4 years since, are still not comfortable doing that yet. So that's just my personal feeling.
Well, it's cool that you're
Yeah.
providing a space for these young kids, you know, and especially like I never had that growing up. I never had like my town was very similar in that the only place you could perform is a bar, and if
Yeah.
you're not 21 or over, they don't want you in there.
Right.
So like hearing that you just want to give a place for these kids to play, like that's huge. That's so cool.
Thank you. Actually, that's a little bit where I'm coming from, because when I was growing up, my school didn't have a music program. I was self-taught on my instrument going into school. So we had no music program. We didn't really have an orchestra. To think that a high school band could play out was like crazy insane. It'd be some underground show and they pretended that they were 18 kind of thing. So it's definitely a little bit of me, I don't want to say living through these kids, but wanting to give them the opportunity that I never had, and that they can play for their friends and family and the community, and it be a positive experience for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. So like for kids who are like in small towns with like not a lot of music opportunities, like what would you say, like how can they start making these opportunities for themselves?
Well, since I've been in high school, it's been a few years. So things have changed a lot. Like you were just saying, there's a lot of bedroom artists. I mean, to release your music on every streaming platform, I think it costs $10, and it's released on Pandora, YouTube Music, Apple Music, Spotify, a bunch of other random European stations. So there's a little bit of a financial, paywall that you have to get past. But if you have the means and you have the software at home, then it's a lot easier for people to get their music out. Now, for it to be heard, you have to have a really good marketing strategy, so that you can post it on your socials. I would say just, and my student actually just did this recently, is make a schedule for yourself. Like these are the days that I'm going to focus on creating, and these are the days I'm going to focus on marketing and posting, and just making time for both of them, and making sure, as much as some of us hate social media, unfortunately that's the best way for us to get our art out right now, and just making a couple days where you're just focused on posting, and that way it doesn't feel like, a lot of people keep posting like, I feel like I have to make content for my art to be heard, and I'm not focusing on the creating part enough. So if you allow yourself days to just create and then days to just post, it makes it a little bit easier as an artist. And then hopefully once they see that this is popular, especially if you're putting your location and there's like 5 people in Akron, Ohio, that are posting these random little bands or indie artists, like a cafe can pick up on that, and you could start like an open mic there. Open mics are great, first thing to do. So check out, a lot of open mics are all ages. I would check out open mics, and as much as you want to be off of Facebook because you're too young for that, they still post a lot of things on there, and the people who would pay you are on Facebook because they're older people, and older people have money. So being active on socials that you're not normally active on, such as Facebook. I recently read a post that said that you need to have a really professional LinkedIn profile, and I don't think I've logged into my LinkedIn in like 2 years. I was like, I guess I need to update that. So just making sure that you're taking time for both creating and the posting. And when you're doing the posts, one thing I told my student is like, just when you're like working on a song and you made a cool riff, just record it while you're practicing, and then you can just edit that down, and that's a reel that you can post later. So to make content, as long as you're thinking about it, is really easy, because I could record a practice session and then have reels for like a week, because I can just take little snippets in the practice session, like, this is how I set up, get ready with me in my practice routine, that kind of stuff, or like check out the new riff that I worked on. Anything like that will help make it more streamlined.
Yeah. I definitely think like, cuz as an artist myself, like I think keeping a good balance between like posting and creating and like maybe filming while you're creating, because that's like really popular content that like people like see and like it helps out people too. I mean, me and Mike were just talking about this, but
Oh
I had
yeah.
a video of like me layering my vocals like in a
Nice.
song. And yeah, it helped a lot of people out
Yeah.
actually. So like
Myself
stuff
included.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of stuff is great because some people just want to see your flow and they're like, I really like what you did there, but I don't understand how I would do that myself. So then when you do something like that, and it's like you're already working on it in the first place. So just hit record on your phone and now you have content that people will find valuable. I mean, I remember during COVID, I made a post and was like, what do you guys want to hear? Because, there's nothing else to do besides play my bass. And I had people just respond with a bunch of different things that they wanted to hear from me. And then I, released those videos and got really good response. And I grew my YouTube following through that. So always listening to your followers as well as to like what they might be interested in. And then always trying new stuff. Like I tried to do an emo night last night with a bunch of different, emo artists or whatever. So I play on my bass like classical bowed style and to see how that did. And it was okay. Not as good as my other stuff, but always like experimenting and seeing what gives you hits and what doesn't give you hits too.
That sounds really cool, actually. That sounds really cool.
On Instagram.
Oh, I'm in.
It was
I'm gonna
a
go
lot
check
of
it out
sight
after
reading.
this.
It was a lot of sight reading, so give me a little bit of grace. Oh crap! And
Yeah.
the one thing I found, like, a lot of respect to people who live stream almost every night because it takes so much prep work. Like that's why YouTube, like professional YouTubers, is an actual job because it took me at least an hour and a half of prep just to get ready for a 45-minute live stream. And then like as I was playing, I was like, oh crap, I should have prepped a lot more because my music's like, piano transcriptions. So I'm trying to find the right note within the piano line to play that's the actual melody and not something else, or it's like an octave too high and I'm transposing like while I'm playing. So props to people who live stream every day because it's a lot of work.
Yeah, for sure. I bet like even doing this podcast, there's a lot of work that goes into it. So it's like
There's a lot behind the scenes. Absolutely. There's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff that the people don't see that happens before the camera turns on.
yeah.
For sure.
But
thank
yeah, yeah, of course. Do you want to say where it's at, your event and where it's at one more time?
Sure. So I'm coordinating the Summer Youth Music Festival on June 29th. It starts at 10 a.m., ends at 10 p.m. It's a 12-hour party. 40 different bands, 30 different vendors, all taking place at the Factory in St. Pete, Florida.
All right, cool. The Factory in St. Petersburg. Go check that out if you guys are in the area. And thank you, Holly.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having
Yes,
me.
thank you.
Have a good rest of your day.
Thanks, you too.
We are here with Infina. Welcome to the show, you guys. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
So, who are you guys? What do you guys do?
I don't know. Who are we?
That is the question of the ages right now.
We're still trying to figure that out. I have no idea. I heard my birth name was David, but somewhere I changed it to Heretic.
Oh, we're talking like ADU days. We changed that shit to Heretic, bro.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't go on stage with a David, you know what I'm saying?
No,
It's just like,
David's
who the fuck is that?
Not a cool enough name.
But yeah, we started in metal, like we're full on metal background. We used to make it hardcore as fuck. We're talking like masks on stage, blacked out eyes, the whole shebang.
Yeah.
And we would throw on a pretty massive show. We had like 7 of us on stage.
Yeah, 7 people. It was insane.
So
Yeah.
it would get a little fucking crazy. And then you know how metal goes, mosh pits, broken bones, bloody noses, and everything, and people loved it. And then after a while, life kind of took us in a weird direction, and then I ended up moving to Colorado.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of stopped music for a while, and then I was in Florida, living in Florida at the time, which is where I live now. Came back and I called this fucker up, and he was like, "Yo, we just built a studio. Get your ass to Chicago." And I was like, "Fuck, okay." you know, it's like twist my arm, you know, like there's a studio bills. Fine. And then the way we went with this is, since we had a metal background, I was like, well, dude, I don't know about you, but metal didn't pay us very well, even though we made a decent following. You know, we got some decent numbers. But I was like, I'm broke, bro. Let's kind of make some music that fans like officially, you know. It's not like they didn't like our stuff before.
It was a tough market because I don't know, getting on playlists on Spotify, things like that, it was hard with because we had like a NuMetal, like a heavier NuMetal sound.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a lot of playlists for that. So I think we got about 26,000 on that band.
Yeah.
As far as like streams go on 4 or 5 songs. And then I don't know, it just felt like we were capping ourselves off there. So we decided let's just make music we like and not really care what genre it is.
It was like, what's the box? You know what I'm saying? Like, here's the box. And we were all like, fuck that box,
Fuck
bro.
that box.
Well,
Mhm.
pause.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like yeah, I want to try something new and expand as a
Oh,
musician
I don't like
and
this.
challenge myself. And as well as him, he's a phenomenal guitarist. So he was all like, I don't care what you got, I can still play. And I was like, well, fuck you. I still got to be a singer.
Lower your chair. You're taller than me. I don't like it.
But what the fuck? I'm just tall, dude. What the fuck? I genuinely
You're making
have
me
this.
look like I'm 5 feet tall. I mean,
Then
they're the same height.
chair up.
I can't. This
This is as low as it goes. The pole will be in my asshole if I go any lower. It's not happening, bro.
I'll set in my hands.
Yeah.
We don't have problems. No problems here.
No, but with Infina, we definitely went for a more mainstream sound, and we wanted to branch out and do more of like everything we wanted to do. So that's why we have songs that are a little bit more new metal, and then some songs that are kind of Deftonesy, and then a kind of a Nickelback sound, because everybody knocks on Nickelback, but they make a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, everybody knows the lyric, they could sing to it. If I say, if you don't want to be a big rock star, I mean, I'm sure you could finish the fucking line, you know?
Oh yeah.
It's we wanted to make something iconic and memorable for our new fans, as well as, you know, the world, you know, branch out, you know.
And I
That's
rap.
awesome.
So yeah.
But
Yeah, so is that how
Yeah.
you guys came up with like the sound that you guys have today?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's the long story. Yeah.
Yeah, that
I don't even know if we really came up with a sound. It's more like we're still coming up with it. I'll let you know when we figure it out.
we just create, you know.
Yeah.
We want to do stuff that we like, and it comes out weird, and people
Yeah,
like
shit,
it.
that's the most, like, that's the best way to do it, is like just make shit you like, and if people vibe with it, people vibe with it. Like,
Oh yeah.
Right.
so how
Yeah.
did you guys come up with the name Infina?
Do you remember?
Well, I was high as fuck, and I was like looking into the cosmos, and I was actually on shrooms that day, and I was like, man, like infinity is dope. And I was like, we still need a band name, you know, full ADD moment while I'm looking into the cosmos, like my band, but the cosmos. And then I was like, infinite. And then I texted them like, what about something like infinite? And it like messed up my spelling on my phone. And it said Infina. And they were like, oh, we like that. And I said, wait, what? What did I spell? You know, because, you know, being inebriated.
No, you use voice to
The
text.
voice to text,
And
yeah.
Yeah.
And then it said Infina, and he was like, yeah, we're going to use that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a crazy, amazing story besides the drugs, but that's how that one went. It was pretty simple.
Yeah.
It's a cool name. Like,
Thank you.
of course. So have you guys been playing music all your life, or like how did you get started in music?
Your story shorter. I'll let you go.
I started off in church, actually. Like,
Oh, please tell a long story.
no. Like, I'm like, my father, he's a musician, and then churchy choir stuff, and then yeah, it just kind of branched off from there. I was like, well, church isn't exactly my bag, but I like music, so yeah. He's been playing though for like, his is way cooler.
I mean, I started with church as well. My dad was bass player at church. So, you know, I moved that the wrong way. But yeah, eventually
Do you have an OCD
Yeah.
right now?
I did. It's
You-
not in
you-
the middle.
It's not symmetrical, nigga. God damn. Like,
But yeah, so same idea. I started with church and then decided I like metal and heavier stuff, and somehow ended up playing guitar a lot. And I actually started rapping first before church. It was like ninth grade. No, before that. I was probably 9 years old. I wrote something for school, and from that point forward, I was just the rapper at school. And you know, I grew up in North Carolina, so there wasn't a lot of other people that were decent at doing anything really. So it wasn't hard to be the best at something there. Not to knock North Carolina, because Fred Durst came from North Carolina. I'm just saying.
yeah.
But
But I'm not a rapper. I'm gonna make sure like I'm not a rapper, dude. That's that dude. Like I like metal, deep screams, growls, anything that sounds like it came from like the seventh circle of hell. Shit, you know.
You
like-
went from church to the seventh circle of hell.
You went the
Yeah.
I
opposite
love
direction.
that.
Yeah, you know, it seemed a little bit more fun, you know, like a lot more. You know, I was like, yeah, that sounds a lot cooler, you know.
Yeah.
and the live shows are more fun too. Like I couldn't imagine going on stage for a rap show, because to me that just feels like there's not a lot to do. But with metal, it's like there's instruments all over the place. There's 5 or 6 other people to play off of. You've got something to do all the time, and the crowd's always going nuts in comparison to, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I've gone to
mosh
some
pits.
rap shows and I'm like, why is everybody just standing here?
Yeah, no, I like mosh pits, dude. I do.
Mosh
Oh,
pits.
same. So I blew my ACL in a mosh pit one time.
Yeah, that's so
Like-
fucking metal, dude.
Like, I love a good mosh pit.
What was the band?
Yeah,
Actually, it was Juice World. It was a Juice World
Juice WRLD.
show.
Oh yeah.
And
Juice WRLD makes
somebody
sense. Yeah.
somebody opened a pit and somebody threw another dude and he like fell right into my knee. I heard a pop and I was like, well, fuck it, I'm already in the middle. Like,
yep.
Yeah. I'm already in it.
But nobody carried you out in a stretcher. You just was like, it's fucked up. I'll walk out later. You know, that's
exactly. I limped out.
hell yeah. That's what we like, dude. I mean, that's the excitement of it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
So you guys have-
understand why.
You guys have found some success in quite a few genres, it sounds like. What advice would you give to like young, like other artists that are like trying to find their sound, kind of like you guys?
Yeah. Thanks for not saying young, because that made me feel
Old fuck.
yeah, right. Advice? I don't know.
Honestly, keep going and
Yeah.
genuinely, truly, it's gonna sound cheesy as fuck. Just believe in your work. Believe in what you're doing. Like that'll get you very, very far. And consistency. Like if you don't believe in your own work that you're doing, man, like who else is gonna, you know?
Yeah.
Like if you have like the half-ass dream of it and it's not a goal, it's just a dream. Like, dude, you know, it's how are you gonna get there if you don't have like set plans? It's you gotta want it. So like just stay determined, man.
Yeah. I think that's my biggest regret, is stopping with ADU, with my rap stuff. Like, I couldn't imagine where I would be at if I didn't stop, but you know, life gets in the way sometimes and tells you need to slow down, and you know, you find your place. But even through that, if you could just pop out, you know, work on something one day a month, like that's better than stopping, you know.
And marketing.
And marketing, yeah.
Marketing is
Marketing is
huge, man.
The game's changing all the time, so
It's not like back in the day where you could just go and play shows and
Yeah.
everybody's just like, oh yeah, you know, we're
yeah,
listening. to your
right.
shit."
That would, I think that would be my best advice, is like, well, I guess if you're in a band, think about how much money you're spending on shows and think about how many more people you would reach if you didn't spend that money playing shows. And then decide whether or not you should play shows. But if you're just going by yourself, it's a different story. Like if you're a rapper or something, that's very inexpensive. But like having to buy equipment, having to set up, thinking about the show, the amount of time that you spend, like you could be spending that on videos that'll get you more exposure. And I think a lot of people overlook that fact. You know what I mean?
Don't get me wrong, shows are fun. I mean,
Yeah,
shows are
shows are
fucking
great.
amazing when you can afford to do them. Like, I don't want to have to worry about gas money to get to the show to make sure my equipment gets there. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
we're spending like $400 a show probably.
easy.
Yeah, and the
'Cause-
thing is, the videos lead to the shows. Like if you get
Right.
exposure through videos, you know, the shows will come.
Yeah, yeah. Now, not to like, I think everybody needs to go play shows because they need to learn how to play shows, even if they're small shows. And like, I saw Futuristic at Reggie's, and there was like 40 people there, and I felt bad for him because I know he can usually pack out places, but this time there was like 40 people. But because he had done those small shows in the past, he knew how to work with 40 people and still put on a great show. And I think that's something everybody needs to know. We had to do a skate park for like 4 people once, and
Yeah, that was an
it
amazing
was the
show,
craziest
actually.
show. Yeah, right.
Like, I was like, no joke, it was a straight up skate park, and I was like climbing the rafters and shit. And dude, this dude was there, and like, no joke, he started giving me giving us a standing ovation. Like, you were fucking everywhere. But I went out to that show like, you know, he was 1,000 people, 100,000 people. Like,
Yeah.
yo, I want to make sure this motherfucker remembers me, you know?
Yeah, right.
But that was loving the craft as well.
And-
So it's good to play shows, but you're right. You want to, like, the shows are going to come once that content's out, you know, and it gets you exposure, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Content is super important. Like,
Especially nowadays.
yeah. So what's like your favorite kind of content to make, like as an artist? Like, do you like making content?
No, I don't.
I
You
do.
go.
I have a low-key filmmaker background. So like I love shooting things that make people laugh, or like stuff that'll surprise. I like the shock and awe factor, but shock and awe costs money. And right now,
Yeah,
money is like, we're trying to make sure that our money goes to the right things.
that's kind
Otherwise,
of fair. Yeah.
like, we'd be doing like way bigger stuff. But like, for right now, shooting funny stuff, you know, stuff that things that you don't have to take yourself too seriously because you're having fun. And you know, the audience is gonna know whether you're having fun with it or not, you know?
Yeah,
So, I like to
exactly.
shoot stuff like
Yeah.
that.
I wouldn't say I hate content. I just hate, I don't know, there's so much that you have to do on a regular basis that it feels like I'm constantly thinking of ideas and trying things and seeing if they work and thinking of headlines and captions and all this stuff. That's the part I hate. But like making videos, that's fun.
It's fun.
We spent like what 3-4 hours yesterday.
Yeah, we just shot a new one on and we're talking.
I saw it. It's on Instagram.
Oh, it's on Instagram already? Oh shit. See, I didn't even know. Had no clue. But yeah, it was
I was gonna tell you, but you were asleep. You know?
I was fucking asleep, dude. What'd you expect from me, bro? Like, my body died. I was like, fuck it, you know. But it was but yeah, like just shooting little stupid shit, coming up with that stuff. Like, honestly, we got a freaking, like, I bought $10, $14 for this stupid mask and some lights. Like, you know, it's gonna make people laugh. It was fun to do. Like, I think the hard part is sometimes the editing of the content, because you want to get it right, you know.
What I really love is finding another artist and featuring or like working with them on a project. And we did something with this guy Balls Music.
Yeah.
He just sent us a beat and we just rapped on it. And like he said, we're not like, I'm a rapper, but he's not, and I don't really try to be anymore. Because I play guitar more than I rap. But we hit him up and just helped him out, you know, by putting some stuff on it and just giving him some content to put up on Spotify and to post around. And I don't know, I enjoy doing that. That feels more like a community to me. That's the only thing I love about marketing, is talking to people on Threads. And
Yeah. Especially with Threads, I just feel like for me personally, it's a more authentic like app. Like
Yeah.
I love Threads.
Oh yeah.
yeah, way better than Twitter or X.
Threads is honestly our like main platform for the show. Like, we get the most support on Threads.
See, I was looking for you on Threads. Maybe I probably did follow you. I tried to tag you in something earlier and was like, it didn't pop up. So I was like, maybe they don't have Threads. But now I know. I'm gonna go and tag you and everything.
But
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
'Cause
yeah,
we
in
got a
my
crazy-
opinion, I think Threads is like the best platform for artists to be on right now.
Yeah, we got a lot of love from people in Europe and places that we didn't expect just from talking to people on Threads. Shout out to Paula in Australia.
Yeah, Paula in Australia, you the shit, girl.
Hell yeah, Paula in Australia.
Shout out Paula.
She's gonna kill me. It's also my wife's name, so
Shout out Paula, the wife.
yeah, she's upstairs. Not in Australia, but on the other side of the house.
Nah, she's all right. We ain't gotta worry about her.
Yeah.
That's
So how did you guys meet? Like, how did that
fuck.
come about?
Oh, that's the question. You going on that one, bro? Like, this motherfucker came to me and was just like, all right, I'm working at Spencer's at the time. And this dude, I'm in Spencer's selling vibrators, doing the thing. And then this dude walks up. He was like, hey, yo, anybody want to go to a concert in Ohio? And my supervisor at the time, Katie, she was all like, she looks at me like, he wants to go, and I'm looking over. I'm selling a vibrator right now. I'm not worried about anything. Like,
literally, when I walked in, he had a big phallic object in his hand, and it was vibrating, and he was talking to somebody.
I'm selling a vibrator, like, and then just like he wants to go to a concert. I was like, what the fuck? So
Yeah,
I roll up, ring up the vibrator for the nice, military chick, and I'm like, okay, what about a concert? No joke. That day, I was like, all right, yeah. Fuck it, we'll go. I just got to pick up some weed first. So he was like, okay. Once he said like, okay, I knew it was kind of cool, but obviously going on a random adventure is like, I don't know this dude. And we genuinely I got my weed, and then we started driving to fucking Columbus, Ohio to Rock on the Range 2009.
Yeah, that little 6-hour drive.
Yeah, 6-hour drive. And
took us 9.
We've been friends ever since. Well, not friends.
Love
Like, he
that.
doesn't really like me, but
We don't
like,
we used to be friends at one point.
Right.
Now we just
can't get rid of each other at this point,
well, I got rid of him for 6 years. Now he's back, so gotta live with it.
That's cool. Yeah, we feel that we can't get rid of each other either.
No, for real.
This man and I literally are on FaceTime every night.
Hell yeah.
The thing is, he's in Portland right now. So
Oh damn.
but he does want to we are having some Illinois plans in the works.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I got a friend out in Salem, and they were just trying to get me out to Oregon. He says it's awesome out there, and they say I'm slacking, so I might have to come out there at some point.
Oh yeah, dude. We got especially in the metal scene, we got a hella crazy scene out here.
Hell yeah. I like that.
Yeah, Chicago's dying down on metal. It's the rap scene here is insane, but
Yeah.
metal's like, I don't know. I mean, Born of Osiris came from here.
But they're not doing the same thing that they used to, man.
Yeah, I know.
It's a different kind of scene now. Like, we still got shows because it's Chicago, but like everywhere else seems to be booming.
Yeah.
And plus Oregon.
The Trail?
No,
The
what?
Trailblazers.
Oh, snap.
Oh.
You have the Trailblazers.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
For real. I love that game though.
Yeah, it was the greatest game of all time.
I played that shit
Maybe
so
we're dating
much.
ourselves here. We should shut up.
Yeah.
Anyways,
All right. So do you guys have any future projects in the works?
currently we have an EP being mixed and mastered. It's a rap EP with some metal guitar in it. It's with our buddy Casper. We're calling it, I think the name of the EP is Phantom. You'll probably hear it in a month, I'm hoping.
I just did the vocals, so like I don't know when it's coming out. Like,
I guess it's my decision.
that's
and
up
the
to
mix.
him.
But no, it's got 4 songs on it. One's about a ghost cat. No, it's not about a ghost cat.
Yeah,
it's one's about
A
gangster
gangster
cat.
ass cat.
Yeah.
Like, no joke.
You actually heard 2 of the songs. because I sent you the pre-play.
Oh yeah.
Wait, she heard 9 Lives already?
Yeah, she heard none of this.
Oh shit. See?
And the second one's Ghost, which is about feeling like a ghost when you post on social media, essentially. Or anything really. I mean, however you
Yeah.
feel like a ghost. But that was our inspiration. It was like, man. Like I said, things have changed since 2000 and when did we do radio?
2011.
16? Well, that was
Oh, we were
Take the
getting
Bell.
big and oh shit.
Yeah,
You
Take the
right,
Bell, yeah.
bro.
So since
So
2016, so much
2016,
has changed that it's like, all right, we're doing the same things and we're not seeing as many people interact with it. So now I'm realizing that it's a completely different game. There's a lot of noise out there. You just got to find a way to break through the noise and do things that you probably don't want to do or aren't proud of just because you want people to see it.
I mean, I'm still having fun.
I've contemplated taking my shirt off. You know,
Don't so steadily trying to pull a Bert Kreischer over here, bro. I
Yeah.
swear, dude.
it'll happen one
The
day.
machine.
No mistake. He will do it. Like he's waiting for it. It's like, why you want to be so naked, bro? Like, I get it, but nah, bro. Trying to get us canceled.
Actually, I actually went to a concert on Saturday, and like it was like 50-year-old men, and they were like taking all their shirts off, and it was like,
Oh God.
and it was a New Kids on the Block concert, and I only went because my mom knows
Hold
them.
on, hold on.
And
Was
like I
Martha-
don't know any of their songs. Like I've heard of them, but like I don't know any of their songs. But these men were like straight up like taking their shirts off. I'm like, dude, you're like 50.
Oh my god, dude. Right.
It's so cringe.
See? Oh,
It's
so
cringe. That's exactly why I want to do it.
Oh my
I want to do it because I know it's cringe, and I know that if I do it right, people can't help but look. You know, like if I put suntan lotion, like I do the whole thing,
You know, it better be shimmery,
it's
bro.
going to be one of those things where it's so gross that you can't not.
You better look like a fucking Twilight vampire, bro. As soon as the lights hit your ass, I swear. If you're
Yeah.
not sparkling, I'm pissed.
You
Yeah.
gotta get some of that. This is that shimmer mist, like that glitter.
That's
Put
Yeah.
that shit on.
glitter.
Yeah.
She knows what's up. She knows what's up.
She's like, let me
Let me just-
Let me just
Let me get my sparkle on.
yeah, and
What-
then I also have another goodie. This is actual like glitter spray. Like
What the
I didn't even
put
know that
on.
was a thing.
That's
This
a
is
thing?
like this is a whole new world for me. Girls do
It's
this.
like-
Really?
It's
That's
like
why you be
I'm-
looking so shiny.
It's actual,
It's like I don't think you could see it in the camera, but like it
but it
it
farts
makes
glitter.
everything special. Yeah, pretty much.
That it does.
So
Dude.
New Kids on the Block. So that begs the question: what kind of music do you actually listen to on a regular basis?
I listen to a lot of like chill pop. I like R&B, lo-fi music, you know. Kind of like the music
Lo-fi.
I make pretty much.
That's funny.
Like
That's funny because like that's one of our early inspirations. We were talking about like what we wanted our new stuff to sound like, and we were like lo-fi metal something.
Yeah.
Like what did we say exactly? Like I knew lo-fi was in there.
Is a big because
Some EDM and some like metal. Yeah.
I like the lo-fi sound a lot, and I've been getting into EDM extra hard. I just went to Beyond Wonderland, so I got a lot of
Oh,
inspiration
wow.
from that.
how was
Oh
that?
yeah, it was crazy. It got feral so fast, so
Oh, I'm
fast.
sure.
Yo.
I saw like pictures of it and shit. That shit looks crazy.
It was wild, and especially with all the rain, dude. Those shoes, like I had some yachts on, right? Like they look like clown shoes essentially, and they were not any kind of colors besides mud. Like the color mud was what they were after.
Yeah.
I had to toss those shoes.
Oh,
It was great.
I bet.
It's perfect. So good, so good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that,
don't like
that
to waste
look-
money.
Yeah, that's yeah. You don't want to wear good shoes. I mean, we're going to Lala, so we cannot wear good shoes at Lala.
Yeah,
It's
we-
just-
Putting the Jordans away, busting out the old Chucks, you know,
Uh-huh.
like
At least you can wash the chucks. I was like, oh, my yachts will be fine. This will be dope. Nah, bro. So much crazy shit. But it was wild to see their stage setups. It was crazy as hell. I got to see an artist that I really like, Rozzy. Like she's beast as hell. It's so much inspiration. And then yeah, trying to incorporate that in some of our future songs. We're still working on that because EDM be hard, bro. Like it's hard to make that shit get some metal undertones, you know?
Yeah. So like I said, we don't really know what we are. We just do things. So what would you guys say that we are? Like if you based off of what you've heard.
I don't
You
know.
guys
You guys
have-
kind of have your own genre.
No, for
All right,
real.
cool.
Like you guys kind of captured it perfectly. Like
Yeah.
it seems like you guys just make whatever you want to make, and it always rocks. Like
Oh yeah.
Well, thanks, dude.
everything I've heard from you guys has been hard.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough because when I'm trying to market and find our like I don't know if you listen to Gary Vee or anything like that. Gary Vaynerchuk.
A little bit.
Any market? Okay, cool. He talks about cohorts all the time and like trying to find your community per se, like your small niches and stuff. And like for ADU, it's easy. It was like NuMetal, but that was the only thing that we could really attach to was NuMetal. But for this, it's like we wanted to branch out and be able to attach to different things like rap or whatever. But because we're so eclectic and so random with our stuff, now it's hard to find people that are going to dig the whole song. Like I might toss like red flags at somebody that likes rap, but they get to the like Chino singing stuff and they're like, I'm not feeling this. And so it's tough to try to really find a community and market that without like, I don't know, without getting a bunch of negativity and like, especially on playlists. We've applied to a bunch of playlists and we just get all this like, yeah, this doesn't really fit. It's like, where do we really fit? Where do we really fit?
Honestly, once the numbers start getting better, it's not going to matter if they think we fit or not. It just matters if they like it. You know, like if somebody likes your music, they're going to play it. They're going to put it on a playlist. They're going to be like, oh, hell yeah. We just finding the right people that like what we do. That's the big one right now. And having those numbers. So like we're growing very rapidly. Like we just hit 100 on Instagram. Like we've only had this out for 4 months. Like we've advertised Infina
for 4 months.
For 4 months.
And Instagram wasn't at first it was TikTok, right? So,
yeah, we did TikTok and then we got to Instagram where our drummer right now is trying to do Snap. We got on Threads and it was just like the numbers are just the percentages alone just
in comparison to other projects we've done, yeah, for sure.
It's been a crazy fast journey doing what we're doing now. So we're glad that we have people like yourselves that appreciate it. And yeah, that means a lot to us, for real.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. Is there anything else you guys would like to say about, you know, your music? Like who you guys like what's your message as artists? Like what are you trying to get out?
Well,
that's a good question, you know.
So our first album, which we haven't fully released, I don't know if you noticed three of the songs out, right?
Mm-hmm.
3 of the songs out have season 1, episode 1, episode 2 or whatever. Those are part of a bigger album, and there's actually a story behind the whole album that we want to put into a short film. We started filming it last year
and it got fucked
up, so we weren't able to use the footage and we needed to start over, and it was
one thing about being an artist that, you know, most new artists will come to learn is you're gonna pivot. You're gonna have to.
Yeah.
There is no set way to do this game. It changes so rapidly and it's so volatile. You're gonna have to pivot.
Yeah.
Like once you think you understand what you got going on, it's just like, oh wait, guess what? You got to left field that bitch because everything changed again.
Yeah.
So it's like once you know to stay flexible, you know, just to not be so stuck in one way, because let's be real, if you're an artist, you're a creative. To be a creative is to expand and contract on those ideas and to be able to branch out and move like water through these times to be able to make your art seen by the masses. Because let's be real, like as artists like yourselves, you want people to hear your shit, right? Like you actually do. Like this is why we do it. We do it because we love it, but also as artists, we need validation. Like, is it good? Do you like it? Do you like me? Like, these are little things that we want people to have, that we want people to put that positive energy towards us so we can put more positive energy towards them. So being flexible will allow you to do that as a newer artist.
So back to the story.
Oh, back to the story though. Yeah, because I straight up segued. I promise I'm sober. I'm sober. You know, just caffeine and nicotine for this guy right now. But yeah, the Infinite story though, we do have a short film that we're going to be putting to it. We're probably going to end up having to animate it because it's a little bit more in our budget to make it more animated. I still want to shoot a live action eventually, but it's it's like a more fucked up Alice in Wonderland style.
Essentially, yeah. It's like,
because there's a love triangle, but then
there's demons and it's crazy. It's Alice in Wonderland on drugs.
Yeah.
Is,
Interesting.
even though
yeah. So we didn't want to release the album until we've got that. So we just released a couple of songs and maybe we'll release a couple more from it. So we had to pivot quickly and be like, oh, well, let's just make a bunch of singles that aren't related to the story and then we'll come back and finish this. So I don't know if there's an overarching message other than chaos and order need each other.
people need each other, dude.
Yeah,
we all do.
Like everything needs an opposite and be grateful of those. That's really the message, I think. Like
that's beautiful.
Chaos, I'm the order.
Yeah, he's definitely the order in this, and I'm the chaos. Obviously, I like my substances as a creative, and these are things that I work on because I got to battle my own shit. I'm like battling my own demons daily on that shit.
Yeah.
But like he has a way of taking my raw ideas and making them into very polished.
I'm a turd polisher. That's my
like
it's the only thing I'm good at.
And it works. You
Just
know,
polishing turds.
polishing shit. Yeah.
Chaos and order. I love that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for coming on the show. Like, this was an
thank you.
awesome interview.
Yeah, thanks for having us, and hopefully we didn't get you canceled at some point. I didn't say nothing too reckless. I kept it down to like only like 30 fucks, bro. Like that's pretty good.
31.
That's pretty good. 31. See, I mean,
Well,
I would love to see you guys at 100 bucks.
well,
sounds like we have a new song to write.
Yep, new
100 bucks.
100 bucks.
100 bucks. Oh, I can't wait to hear that shit. This is Infina, everybody.
Infina.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Hey guys,
Whatever that is.
that's your mama. That's what it is, nigga. All right, I gotta go smoke. Hey guys, for real, thank you for having us. This was fun. For real.
Absolutely.
And, all the success to you guys in your endeavors. You guys are doing fucking kick ass. So, hell yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, you guys too, for real. Keep kicking ass.
I appreciate it, man, for real.
Well,
I'm kicking ass.
thank you.
I don't know, like you're no, it's all right. You kicking ass, dude. Like yourself. No, you better give me some dap, nigga.
Yeah.
You better give me some dap. Why you being like that?
Good.
It's just because they're around. You don't want to do it. Yeah. Stop being scary, bro.
All right.
Being all shy and shit.
I have to get back to work now.
Shit. All right,
So,
you guys have a good day.
You too.
Yeah, we
Later.
can chase the sun. I think that you're the one. I think about you